Hi Taurus, welcome to your February 2021 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So I've been talking about how February is a time when so much is happening in the sign of Aquarius. And, it goes without saying that the sun is in Aquarius. Mercury is retrograding in Aquarius as the month begins. And we just recently had Jupiter and Saturn go into Aquarius. Now, on the first of the month, we have Venus into Aquarius. So Aquarius is a fixed sign, and you're a fixed sign. So it's going to be one of the angular, did I say that right? Angular? I said that kind of weirdly. One of the angular houses, and in this case, it's the 10th house of career. And this video is for the sun in Taurus as well as Taurus rising. And I have to say that I have Taurus rising, and so my 10th house is I have a certain degree. I can't remember. I keep forgetting. Is it 4 degrees or it's Aquarius, okay? And this is why this has to be a general reading, because we're talking about specific dates and specific degrees for certain things happening. So just keep that in mind, that it depends on everyone's degree of sun or degree of rising sign. But the 10th house of career, this is really exciting, because with Jupiter and Saturn, it's going to be a longer transits, long after these faster personal planets are long gone, And there's also the fact that Mars is in your sign as the month begins. So you're going to be energetic, and just like on the physical level, have a lot of energy, but also a lot of, physical energy, but also ambition. And, so that's a perfect coupling with having a crowded 10th house, because not only will you want to make things happen, you'll have that kind of drive to do it. Because Taurians can be quite chill if they want to, let's face it. So on the 1st, Venus goes into Aquarius. So let's review how many planets are in that 10th house. We've got Venus, we've got the Sun, we've got Mercury retrograde, we've got Jupiter, we've got Saturn, 5 planets. Holy moly. That's all I can say about it. Now with Mercury retrograding here, and Mercury starts the retrograde on January 30th. Mercury is in the 10th house, may have you reconsidering something to do with career matters. Now, this can run the gamut. It could be anything from changing career to changing the way that you do things in your current career if you like what you do. It can be some kind of misunderstanding that is connected to career matters, maybe with people who are higher up than you. The 10th house can be authority figures. So something is, you're reviewing something, you're thinking something over, and Venus is now here on the 1st, and that can bring money. So it could be a raise. And that might be what the Mercury retrograde is about, is a salary review. And kind of negotiations back and forth. But it sounds to me like you're going to get it at some point. Maybe when Mercury goes direct, starting on February 20th. And I believe it's March 12th before Mercury comes out of its shadow. So there's time to really resolve something before Mercury fully moves forward. So we've got that going on, and then and also Venus in the 10th house can be meeting somebody in a romantic sense through your career. Makes you popular. Venus in the 10th house. On the 11th, the new moon is in this house. So there you go. There's more stuff happening. 23 degrees of Aquarius. New opportunities, new beginnings. Set your intentions. Even if this is like a Mercury retrograde, it's a perfect time to really, deeply reflect on, your path, your career path. And, career paths don't have to be cookie cutter. They don't have to be what you read in Cosmo. I know that sounds, I don't even know if people read magazines anymore, to tell you the truth. But, people get their information from all kinds of conventional sources, although that was a terrible idea. But, just you can create your own career and your own goals that fit you, Taurus. You don't have to go by anybody else's template. And actually, it's very interesting because with the new moon being in Aquarius and this being your 10th house, it is about doing something out of the box. Aquarius is not cookie cutter and conformist. It's actually nonconformist. And with Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius in your sign, that makes you want to break out of that mold. So, think about career matters from a totally different point of view, your own. Make it your own. That works for you. On the 18th, the sun goes into Pisces, and we're talking about the 11th house, and this is a very social place. This is the house of friends and groups and, where people gather, the collective. And it's also the house of hopes and wishes. So your goals that you would like to see come to fruition, and I would separate them from your career aspirations, which would be more of the 10th house, are in this 11th house. And so you can be having an enjoyable time with other people. I think because there's so much happening in the 10th house, this is a great time to network, to expand your contacts. It could actually benefit you career-wise. And that might be one of the motivating factors actually for you to be kind of circulating like that. And just, other goals that you have that you'd like to bring to fruition at some point. On the 20th, Mercury turns direct, so there could be some kind of agreement you come to in your mind or with superiors in that 10th house of career. 25th, Venus goes into that 11th house. So Venus in the 11th house, you can see some kind of romantic association that you make through your friends or through a group that you belong to. If you do meet somebody, just remember that there may be this kind of friendship that is developing, because the 11th house is really friendships, but it's like the agape love, where it's platonic, but meaning in a good way. But this could be a really interesting beginning to a relationship, Taurus. If you're the type that tends to get hot and heavy with romantic partners, having this kind of platonic beginning may actually make the relationship last longer, because you're not rushing into anything. So It could be something like that. Maybe even with somebody with the sign of Aquarius, since this is Aquarius's house. And this is a house of humanitarian matters. So your heart might be really into that kind of thing. There's a pleasant quality to your endeavors at this time. And so whether it's gathering with people who share your interests in some type of group, or if it is a humanitarian kind of a matter, political or a charity, something that helps other people, but at the same time where you're maybe socializing or, meeting people who share the desire to help this cause, that can be what is happening. Social interactions in general are more favorable at this time. On the 27th, we have a full moon at 8 degrees of Virgo. So there's a fellow earth sign, and that forms a trine, which is the most, you could say, favorable angle in a lot of ways, or easiest manifestation. And Taurus, you are the sign right behind Virgo, earthwise. And so this is your 5th house. And, I will say if you're 0 to 8 degrees of Taurus, this is more likely going to be in that fifth house. The rest of you, this will be in the 4th house of home and family. So there's quite a difference between these two full moons. For those majority of you for whom this is going to be in the 4th house, this is going to be an emotional time because the 4th house is the house ruled by Cancer, and the moon is ruled by Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, and even though Virgo is an earth sign, because it's happening in this house that is connected to childhood, I was going to say the mother. Somebody was, talking about the mother and the father. Somebody was just writing to me on YouTube and talking about how different astrologers see the 4th house connection. I will just say the family of origin. And when you have a full moon here, it can bring up some of those past memories, maybe letting go of something that has held you back since childhood. And while it can be liberating, it can also be emotional. If you think about the sentimentality that we associate with childhood. And some people, I guess, don't. Some people try to avoid thinking of childhood as much as possible because they had a very traumatic childhood. So I suppose not everybody has that kind of, reaction to childhood. So I won't say that across the board, but a lot of people do. And they have fond memories, but they also, it can be kind of bittersweet because, the past is gone, So there might be something that triggers that, but it could be a good outcome because there's kind of a purging effect with the full moon. So it can let go of things. With the 5th house, we're talking about the house of pleasure. If you're not trying to get pregnant, you might want to play checkers or something, or I don't know. Do something about that because this is the house of conceiving children. It's also a house of recreational sex, so you do the math. This can be romantic. This can be something, again, look at what I was saying earlier. If you have Venus in the 11th house, and then you have a full moon in the 5th house, this could be, again, like having a platonic friend and then realizing that you have feelings for this person. It's the house of love, the house of artistic self-expression. So full moon can bring creativity to great heights. So I think this is a really fun month for you, social month for you, Taurus. And I hope that, and also, I shouldn't just say that. I mean, this is great for your career. What am I talking about here? Very good for career, but also you're going to have a lot of fun at the same time. Maybe even find love. So um, I hope that those things happen for you if that's what you want. And thank you for listening. If you would like a private reading, please click on the link below because you can find out more information about all the kinds of readings that I offer. Thank you for listening. I already said that, didn't I? Take care. Bye.